All right, well, we did a 5-minute video blabbing about the shop and stuff because I'm thinking, look, I finally am done. Woo woo! All right, Guitar Cats, I'm finally done with the Ergo V, and I don't mean done like completely, like I'm never gonna mess with it again. But here it is. The video cut out. I was talking about the soldering iron. I just got the electronics done. I got it soldered in, wired up. I got the amp down there. It's a tiny line 6. I think I got 15. It's a Spider 4, 15 watts. So, yeah, these little amps, they crank. I usually just play it pretty clean. This is set up. This is like the clean channel. When I say clean, I mean like no gain and or preamp really. But it'll have some minor effects on there. So I'll play for you a little bit. You know, I'm not gonna like do a concert. I'm kind of been sucking. I haven't been playing. I've been fixing the guitars. It's a good way to get out of practice. Haha. But no, for real. I was just raising the pickups, and it was funny because I had it wired backwards. The volume knob was going backwards. So it was a Flying V, right? Now it's an ergonomic purple guitar, and it has a little bit of neck dive. Woo-woo. Right, I could sit it back and it'll sit kind of on its own. It wants to creep forward. When I have the grip underneath, I'm going to carve some grips in there. It was better, and I don't know, it's neck diving even more than it was last week. So I can change the tuners if I want to make it lighter up there, but the neck sticks out, right? So it's a short scale length, and then you have upper fret access is what it is. So because of that, it's you're going to be prone to neck dive. So I guess I'm not noticing it so much. Why? Because I got a beautiful hand carve that I did. Wow, the purple is popping. And you know what? The finish is, yeah, I guess it's for the people, but we're the ones who sit and play 12, 15 hours days sometimes. And I watch the guy's arm go numb, so I'm glad I got a nice arm carve. And I could probably lower this bridge in the action a little. Looking at it, it's right around 2 mils. I just raised it up to get the buzz out. I didn't measure it yet. And it's staying in tune even with these new strings. These are 8s. Alright, so I'm on the neck pickup here. Middle, about the same volume. And then the bridge picks up, it's a little brighter. Oh, I got the first one split. So if I unsplit it, way louder. Middle, bridge. Wow, I got the neck even louder than the bridge. So it's funny, you know, a couple of turns here and there, and the race is on. It was just a second ago, the bridge was louder. I like the neck, I'm a neck pickup guy, but they should be pretty balanced. And so height, obviously major importance. I'm going more by sound than visual. Visually, looks like this back end needs to come up a little more. Let's see. What a difference a day makes. Neck. Nope. Still muted compared to that neck. Wow. We're getting close to the strings. We don't want to get too close. Do another turn. Or 2. Yeah, baby. Just going for it. Volume. not used to humbucker guitars, so I think my first Kramer had a humbucker in the neck, and it had a lot of bass, and then after that, I guess I was like strapped down, or I had single coils in the neck, so it was way different, a lot more like this. Let's go middle. Yeah, I like that, combining them both, so I can hear the... So very nice. I like the split coil sound. These are the Alnico 5 Lilies. So I think I got them pretty kind of balanced out with the height. So neck, pretty cool, very high-endy, right? That was with the tone on like 9. So it's an audio taper. That's full 10. Going back to the middle. Very fat, I like it clean, not muddy at all. I don't know where the muddy was. I got the tone on 10 now. Let's go back so we can find that muddy. Drop D guys and drop tune guys, yeah. Dope, right? So I didn't want to just make this about playing for you, but now you see or hear a little high end. That was neck pickup. Friggin' sounds awesome. Plays awesome, right? Like I did some fret work on it. I didn't go totally crazy, but it's pretty smooth. I think it wasn't bad to begin with. I got all the crap off the back of the neck, so it's slick. It's light. Man, is it light. Right? I don't notice the neck dive when I'm playing. My arm pressure here is more than enough, and it's not hurting my arm in any way. It feels smooth. The satin finish not too glossy, so I'm not slipping off. There's just enough that I can hold it. And I think once I had the grips under there, it made a big difference. So a little slip, a lot of dive. Seems to be diving more. I mean, what did I do? How did I make the head heavier? I was messing around with no tuners. But today, man, another day. It's been a lot. I never wired anything. Now we got push pulls, push push, push push, two push pushes. I relocated the jack. The 3-way switch we saved. We saved the old jack. We got 2 new pots. So we got 2 new switches with abalone. We got the ferrules, getting rid of the old flying V. Uh-oh, cats are meowing at me. They probably gotta go poop and pee, so we're gonna wrap it up. There goes the V. But the ferrules are still reminiscent of the V. I love the pickups, they sound great. Up to 2 minutes ago, I couldn't get the volume to mute. It now mutes. On my last video, the volume was working in reverse. So it was pretty bad. Pretty cool. There's some sound in here, man. These humbuckers are pretty slick, and the setup pretty awesome. The tone capabilities, I think I'm gonna have a lot of fun. It seems very playable. These are 8s on here, and yeah, I encourage you. If you want to chop the legs off your flying V, go for it. I love the way it came out. It's a piece of art. It's custom. I got custom rainbow burst on the back, a funny little tiny horn, which is crazy with all this color. I think we're going to try to strap onto that. Strap in, strap on. We may do some color on the face here, but I'm going to leave the back alone. I love the wood grain. Pretty awesome. Someone gave me this Dean, right? The neck was cracked. There was nails, big nails going right through it. So we took it out. We got some dowels. You can still see some of the holes where the dowels were. You still see the crack on the neck where it's glued back together, but the intonation is perfect. Yeah, even with the fresh strings, it's staying in tune. So, man, it was tons and tons of work. I wouldn't recommend it, but it paid off. I got a beautiful guitar, and so I'm happy. There's a few guitars out there, and this came in handy just a few minutes ago. I can do that, and it's stable. It's stable like that. Like, yeah, it'll knock over with the wind or someone knocks it, but man, I don't know. Sometimes it comes up. You're not near a wall or anything you could lean it on, and if I do lean it on something, it's bomb. It doesn't really like those stands so much, so it's better without the stand. Good. I can put my Strats, right, one less stand to carry to the gigs. So, boom, look at that. Is that amazing or what? Yeah. Now, playing it on the leg like this, maybe if you're doing your tapping, you're working above the 12th fret, my arm's pretty comfortable. Up here, I'm not going to be strumming cowboy chords. That's awkward as hell. If I go on this leg, pretty good. Not bad again. My arm is way up in the sky. That's going to fall asleep. I can do it down here. Right? If it's above my heart, it's going to lose blood. So, the middle, when you say you've got the flying V, and then the horns were hitting you in the nats. Like here, like I'm getting a little nat tickle, but I'm not getting any disturbance. So I can, get in there, and then the leg rest, right, if I want to be up there, it's really kind of stable now. I'm not one of those guys who plays behind his back. get the idea, y'all. It plays great. I have just starting to get into the different tone options, and I probably got to fine tune the pickups a little. The intonation's pretty good. The action's pretty good. A little fine tuning were there. I didn't change the nut, still a plastic nut, but I had moved it over, relocated the E string. It's no longer pulling over the edge. And what else? I don't know, we're good. I kind of wanted to give a synopsis of how much I spent. You know, I bought a belt sander, an oscillating saw, so a couple of hand tools, 20, 40. You know, I figure I spent all 3, 4, maybe $500 all told between everything. The humbuckers were only $40, $35, $40. Okay, the ferrules 10, 12, $15 for the knobs. The pots, $10, cheap. What else? Some wire, $20, and then dye, $20. Polyurethane, $15. You know, wax, butcher's wax, boiled linseed oil, some of the stuff I had already, right? But like I say, all under $500. I didn't spend a lot. The biggest parts I bought were probably the pickups, and we're talking about $40, right? So this is a low-cost modification. It didn't cost nearly anything, but I can't tell you how many hours. I should have clocked the hours. Intense amount of hours. Sanding, filing. Never ends. But I love the way it turned out. It's a much lighter, it wouldn't even fit in a gig bag. Now it'll probably travel like butter. And did I tell you it could do that? I'm trying to break it. I'm gonna curse myself. Where did it go? It used to do that. It used to do this thing. There it goes. So it's a fine balance point, but it does it. If your guitar can do that, I want to see it. Put it on video. Hopefully that captured it. But yeah, I did it. I converted my Flying V into an ergo. Someone had given me this guitar to save it, said, hey, make it playable. I was like, man, I don't know if I can make it playable. The Flying V wouldn't sit. You couldn't get a hold of it to try to play it. The most uncomfortable thing ever. But I'm a tiny guy. I think some of these really huge guys, it's different for them. It feels more comfortable. Yeah, as far as playing it, you know, upright, that's a little weird. Now, I do have the 45 carve, so that's pretty cool. And again, I gotta put some grips. Now, I feel like I gotta bear hug it a little, right? Like I'm kind of holding it in that position. It's not just gonna really sit there. Kind of. If I put the grips, it'll sit there. Okay? It's got the body carve, it's hugging my body right now. But how weird is it to play right here? It's kind of weird. My hand's right behind my face, it's weird. And then it's kind of up. But, you know, different positions, you're going to be playing many hours. Give your leg a break, whatever, right? I'm not as hunched over. That's the idea. I just cracked my back. I got a bad back, yo. It'll sit on this leg pretty nicely, too. And so, yeah, definitely good for the high-end stuff. I got to work on, you know, my arpeggios and scales and shredding. So I can work up here, no problem. That's what I was thinking when I, you know, wanted to save this guitar. But it's been a lot of work, people, so no regrets. I really don't recommend it. I mean, the $500 I spent on tools, you know, now I can do tech work on my own. All my other guitars I can set up. After the electronics nightmare that I've been through, getting this bad boy, you know, rolling, I fully understand the wiring and electronics now. I think I could look into a cavity and see what everything is and just, what do you call, backwards engineer, reverse engineer, you know, what's been done. I can see and understand now. I know all the capacitors, the pots, I know the way the wiring scheme should go, all the wiring diagrams in my head. I think I understand it mostly. And in the end, it was weird because the three-way switch, I guess, ended up not being grounded. That's how you get the mute on the volume. But it was grounding, I had it grounding to the volume, and I cut the ground, boom, pound, prepare. Now it works perfectly. So we're good, we're happy. Peace and love, people. We'll see you on the next guitar. It's kind of a sad ending, but a new beginning. And, I'm proud. It's still a work in progress. We'll revisit it. I'll let you know how it's doing in a few months. How the strap looks. Maybe I'll do a quick video when I get the strap on there. And if I change the tuners, maybe less neck dive, even lighter, that might be pretty cool. Because I didn't weigh them, but it feels like the Glary is lighter. So just straight, stock Glary lighter. And it's similar setup, a three-way, two knobs. Actually, they're not push-pulls. So if I want to split those coils, I probably can. I gotta yank the pickups and see how many wires they have. Or open the electronics cavity and see how many wires they have. If they're 4-wire, then they're splittable. If not, well, I can replace them and split them. And now I know how to do it. So it actually be pretty easy. But I want to move, I want to move the volume pot on the Glary because you hit into it when you strum. They put it too far forward. I guess it's good if you're one of those Jeff Beck, I don't know, is he, one of those volume control guys? See, I can't do it from over there, not really. Volume smells, I never did that. Let's see, we can do this. You get the idea. But yeah, so we're going to move that, and the Mitchell, the neck pickup not coming on at all. So it's probably just a loose ground or a loose weld or something, a loose solder rather, not a weld. Right, I'm thinking on the three-way switch. Could be the pickup itself, but they look very similar to these. And man, the Mitchell's a nice guitar, so we got to get that neck pickup going. And yeah, I mean, just a few little odds and ends. The Squire's pretty much kicking butt. There's like one high magnet that I feel my pick hitting into sometimes. I might be able to just tap it down. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. So we got a couple little projects, and then we should be pretty much perfect. The old American Strat looking good. I think I gotta do a little scalloping on the 12th fret. I added too much back, so I had originally like scalloped it and rolled the neck too much, and then I filled it in with wood putty, and I overdid it. But anyway, I digress. Talk about all these guitars, cats. All right, y'all. I don't know if you saw me for any of that. I guess I have to watch back, review before I post. Paul Reed Smith, we still got to do unboxing on that. All right, should be no problems with that. Should be playing perfect. Next to it, the acoustic Strat, really looking good these days. I got to revisit the electronics. Still more to do on that. So we'll see you on the next video, people. I'm not sure which guitar I'll be repairing next. Maybe the Alvarez. The bridge came back up, so I got to rip it off again and glue it back down. I don't know if that's real interesting or fun, but it'll be cool once it's playing perfectly. Like, I'm super excited about the acoustic Strat. Like, we really got rid of the belly bulge, like, permanently and solved a major problem. So I don't even care if I have to relocate the stupid saddle. I never did relocate the bridge. We're good. The intonation's not perfect, but it's a little off. But if I have to relocate the saddle back up again, we're all good with that. Right? It's basically the intonation above the 12th fret. So how much am I leading out on that guitar? Maybe a little. Right around the campfire, or with a bunch of other acoustic cats, acoustic Strats, acoustic cats. So Yeah, so it's not the end of the world if the intonation's a little off on that, on the upper. As long as the lower is pretty good, I might use it for gigs and looping, do some cowboy chords down below, right? And then break out a second guitar, bring an electric guitar. I mean, if I want to travel light, then it's good. So we'll get that intonation going. I mean, I could do the loops on that and then play lead over it. It's really not too bad. It's like the B string is a little flat, so it wants to come forward. I might be able to even compensate the saddle without moving the whole thing. But again, I digress. So I could just talk for hours. I'll never end. Let me pan back toward the purple, the purple, the purple nurple. I don't know what we should name it, but I think it really came out good. The horn's a little wonky. We'll see how it holds a strap. Oh, I lost a leg. The tripod's falling apart, people. We better end before it crumbles to dust. Peace and love. See you on the next one.